Good morning, guys. It is Monday, December 11th, 2023. This is Bathrobe Business. Very groggy this morning with my coffee. Let's jump into the news. So it's actually a fairly quiet day. So this is the week that the Fed is going to be reporting on if they're raising interest rates or not. That meeting is happening on Wednesday. So a lot of the stories right now feel very muted because I think everybody is anticipating what Jerome Powell is going to do. The online sentiment is still that he's going to start cutting rates in 2024. I don't really see why people think that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think as a best case scenario, he's going to leave them leveled and unchanged. We're still seeing indication that there is rampant inflation in the market, specifically with jobs. So even though you have individual sectors that may be, I wouldn't say facing deflationary pressures, but are not inflating, the job market is still incredibly strong. So last week I reported with you guys that jobs came in at overestimated and that the job growth is continuing. So I don't think that he's going to be lowering interest rates, but we will see. This meeting is probably just going to signal whether he is going to do something in the new year. It's unclear if he's actually going to do something for this month. Remember, the interest rate has remained unchanged since July. So it's more than likely to continue at this Fed chair meeting, and we will see what he does in the new year. As far as the market, also very much unchanged. The Dow is steady at 36,638 points. The Nasdaq is at 4657. I'm sorry, that's the S&P. The futures, Nasdaq futures are at 16,282. Oil is relatively unchanged. However, our favorite indicator, gold, is actually down. It is still above 2,000, but it is at $2,008. So it is down relative to where it's been as a baseline of 2,040 for a long time. Next story. This one is about Macy. So there's a private equity group. This one is a unique group because it's Arkhouse management. So most of their maneuvers are actually based off of real estate. So they don't necessarily liquidate real estate and or are in real estate specifically. They simply invest in companies where they believe that the stock price is not taking into consideration the real estate value of those businesses. So I researched them a little bit. Their ownership structure is a little bit unclear. It feels like they're owned by two other corporations as well. So this seems to be a fund that's owned by a larger hedge, or it could be a fund that's owned by a private equity group. But their primary focus is they buy businesses where there's unique real estate value. I couldn't find data on it, but I'm assuming because that gives them leverage for financing, that they are then able to take that money and finance it out. So they have offered Macy's a reported $5.8 billion to acquire the entire company and take it private. Macy's is a public company. Currently trading at about $17 a share. They're offering about $21 a share. And then they'll own Macy's, Bloomingdale's, and a couple of other smaller companies that Macy's owns. Macy's has yet to confirm if they're accepting the offer, but it is a substantial offer. They have denied other offers like this in the past about going private, but we will see if this one will accept it because their sales are down, of course, as many other retailers this year. Next story, China abandons pursuit. Cigna abandons pursuit of the Humana purchase. This was about the merger I talked about last week, where Cigna and Humana were looking at merging into one monolith. I did not think that's a good idea. I think this is a great news that they are not merging. Personally, I don't know how they would have been able to clear FTC regulations, but they are abandoning it, and in place they're doing a $10 billion buyback of shares to reward investors. That's probably a better thing to do to begin with. Next story involves oil, actually. So Occidental Petroleum is going to buy a major producer in the Permian Basin. That's Texas, Oklahoma, Midwestern region. And I do not have a current amount of how much they are purchasing for, but this also comes on the heels of when ExxonMobil purchased a major oil producer in that same region just a couple months ago. We reported on that as well. So a lot of consolidation happening in the oil industry. Not necessarily a good thing because that could mean that prices are going to be fixed, but that is something to look out for as far as how it's going to affect pricing. Next story is kind of the last story. Like I said, it's very quiet today, so I don't have too much to report. China is once again showing a weaker economy. So stocks slid after data shows increasing deflationary pressure amid a weak demand. So they're kind of facing the opposite of what we are. Where we're having rampant inflation, they're having rampant deflation. So their currency continues to become deflated as their prices are falling. So this is again further evidence that their economy is getting weaker and weaker by the day. This does come on the news that there are demographic issues, that they have governmental and corruptional issues, their real estate crisis, of course. So the central government has said that they are going to issue stimulus, but as we know, that doesn't necessarily improve the situation. That's pretty much it. I don't have much to talk about in relation to the news. Right now, there's another breaking story actually in regards to gold again. Gold prices fall on firm dollar as spotlight moves to U.S. CPI data. So just again, a strengthening of the dollar versus the gold price, a very good thing. It's talking about how gold has fallen, which is what I just reported. And that's it. So yeah. I hope you guys have a great day. It's the start of a new week. Best of luck. We'll make it through. I'll see you guys tomorrow.